The views and opinions expressed by the On the Spot with David Rodgers show are solely based on the show's hosts, guests, and viewers. We are solely responsible for all show content in its entirety and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of any sponsors in any way. These broadcasts are presented and made public by the On the Spot with David Rodgers team in the hope that it will be entertaining and informative to our viewers and listening audience.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's 7 o'clock and time for On the Spot with David Rodgers. And now, here he is, Mr. Friday Night, the show pony himself, the man, the dream, the legendary David Rodgers.
Good evening, folks, and welcome to On the Spot with David Rodgers. I am Mr. Friday Night himself and the show pony David Rodgers. Not alongside Byron Bagwell tonight because he is working tonight, so he will not be able to be on the show. But I got the Dancing Destroyer himself, Super Dave Holland, directing and producing the show. Great to have you along. Tonight's show is sponsored by Mitchell Gunner and Mitchell Gunner Racing and the On the Spot Motorsports media page. Tune in on Thursdays at 7 o'clock to hear the latest from the guru of motorsports, the all-knowing Mitchell Gunner. Let's get the show started as we always do with our prayer, our pledge, and our patriotic quote of the night. Again, welcome in to On the Spot with David Rodgers. Going a little bit solo tonight, but I do have my backup. He is the Dancing Destroyer himself, Super Dave Holland. We've got a special guest tonight coming in, Ty Lee. He's going to be talking about the big wrestling show that's coming up on November the 11th. We'll get into that here in just a little bit as soon as he comes on. So again, great to have you along. If you're at home and if you're here, please take off your hats and please bow your heads as we go into prayer. Our righteous Heavenly Father, let us once thank again for a wonderful and glorious day you've given us, dear Lord. Thank you for this time that we can be together, dear Lord. The Brotherhood, the DOR, the Defenders of the Republic, and the new High Priest of the Church of the Painful Truth. Thank you, Neil Bortz, for that. Just let us be able to get together and give the news and whatever else, sports and the different things that we go through, dear Lord, that you got us through this and that we're able to give a great show to our viewing audience. Thank you for letting us live in the greatest country in the world today, the United States of America, dear Lord, the most freest and powerful country in the world today. Yes, we have our own issues and our own problems, dear Lord, but with your guiding and your touching hand, we can make this country great again. As Mr. Donald Trump, our president, our former president, says, we can make this country great again. So thank you for letting us live here, dear Lord. Also, thank you for the armed forces, dear Lord, each and every one of those men and women that serve each and every day, whether it's here in the United States, dear Lord, or abroad, dear Lord. Thank you for just keeping a hedge of protection over those men and women so they can go back home to their families as well. Also, dear Lord, our first responders, each and every one of those men and women that go out each and every day to protect us from the evils and domestic terrorism and things of that nature, that we know that they're there, that when we pick up and call 911, they're there to help us and to keep us safe each and every night as we lay our head to rest. Thank you to all of our frontline workers, dear Lord, every one of them, the farmers, the truck drivers, the trains that bring all our goods to us, dear Lord, the steel workers, everybody that makes America turn, dear Lord. Keep a hedge of protection over each and every one of us that go out to work each and every day to keep this economy churning, dear Lord, to keep us producing and to keep us just moving in the right direction. Keep your guiding hand on us for that, dear Lord. Any spoken or unspoken prayer request, dear Lord, that you touch each and every one of them. You're the ultimate healer and the ultimate comforter, so please touch each and every one of them. Thank you for the food that we receive each and every day that goes to blessing, to the nourishment of our bodies and our bodies to your service, dear Lord. Again, thank you for this day. Thank you for this beautiful time that we have together. Thank you for the rest of the week that we have upcoming, dear Lord. And know that you are the ultimate healer, you are the ultimate guider, and you are the ultimate comforter. We ask for these things in your Son's name, Jesus Christ, and the congregation says, amen.
Amen.
All right, let us stand. Let us stand for our pledge. And I'm going to ask Mr. Dave Holland if he'd lead us in our pledge.
With pleasure. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. Welcome in to On the Spot with David Rodgers. I am your host, David Rodgers, going a little bit solo tonight, but we're going to have a guest that's going to be coming in here in just a few minutes. Mr. Ty Lee will be joining us here to talk about a big wrestling event that's going to be coming in on November the 11th, along with the dancer destroyer himself, Super Dave Holland. Great to have you along. All right, let's get the show started as we always do. Like I said, we just went through everything that we needed to go through, but the patriotic quote of the night. So, David, here we go, and to our viewers. All right, I got two of them. Rather fail with honor than succeed by fraud. Who said that? Rather fail with honor than succeed by fraud. I'll give you a little bit of a hint. He is a Greek philosopher, he's a tragedian, and he's a prolific poet. Who would that be, David? And our viewing audience.
My mind is a total blank.
Total blank. Let's see if anybody has a guess. I know that Byron Bagwell will probably know this, but rather fail with honor than succeed by fraud.
Rather fail with honor.
Than succeed by fraud. Hey, that really...
That could be anybody.
Yeah, and doesn't it go to what's going on with our country today and the things that are going on? Some of the things that you're hearing, you know, that people are doing in high places, i.e. our pilots. So much lying. So much, yes. So much, me and Byron, you hear us all the time, shenanigans. A lot of shenanigans going on. That is Sophocles. Sophocles.
I would not have guessed.
Yep. I got one more for you. How strangely will the tools of tyrant pervert the planning of words? How strangely will the tools of tyrant pervert the planning of words? That is a founding father. That was said in 1776. I'll let you take a guess, and you on the viewing audience can take a guess as well. Again, great to have you along. Dwight Allen, great guess by Plato. That was Sophocles.
Oh, really? I was going to say Benjamin.
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm talking about on the first one.
Oh.
Wanda Norman said, is that Churchill? Nope, he was a founding father, Wanda. So I'm going to let you take a guess again. How strangely will the tools of tyrant pervert the planning of words? So is that... almost said that.
You almost said
I did. I almost said that. I almost said it. Is it Churchill? No, ma'am. It's not Churchill, but that's a great guess. That would be Samuel Adams said that back in 1776, one of our famous founding fathers. Hey, do you know he's the one, David, that gave the British all the heck that was started between what's now America and Britain, you know, when we was under the rule of Britain. He was one of the founding fathers that really stood up and really talked about this thing, you know what I'm saying, and got this thing moving. And then that's where, you know, the American Revolutionary War, of course, started. So anyway, again, welcome in, everybody, to On the Spot with David Rodgers, going solo tonight, along with the Dancing Destroyer himself, Super Dave Holland. Great to have you along. No Byron Bagwell because he is working. David, in a minute, I want to show what Mrs. Bagwell brought in. Or am I supposed to keep that a secret? Maybe I'm supposed to keep that a secret. So maybe we won't. But hey, don't go anywhere, because here comes the round table and the news right after this commercial break.
Hey Tornado fans, this is Kurt Miracle of Miracle Automotive and Towing, proud sponsors of Tornado Football. I want to welcome you to beautiful Stark, Florida at David Hurst Stadium, and thank you for letting us be a part of this community. We're here for more than your automotive and towing needs. We're here to be part of Tornado Country. Go Big Red!
Here we are with the round table. Glad again to have you along. David Rodgers and Mr. Dave Holland here with you. We got a special guest tonight be coming up here in just a few minutes. His name is Ty Lee. We're going to tell you what he does and what he's trying to get done here in Bradford County. Dave, if you can flip that up for me, I would greatly appreciate it. And here we go. This is the round table. We'll go around the region, around the table with news and, of course, the weather and other notes that we have. It's brought to you by Harry Business, home of the $10 haircut, now located in their new home at 1605 North Temple Avenue, across from the Charlie Johns Conference Center on US 301 on the north side of Stark. Stop in and see the new location or schedule an appointment by calling 904-964-3338. Let's begin with the news, David. We begin in Bradford County, where a Lawdy Elementary School student is facing a misdemeanor charge of disrupting a school function and is in juvenile court after bringing a plastic gun to school this morning. A student reported to a school administrator that another student brought a gun to school, who immediately reported to the Bradford County Sheriff's Office. The school was locked down during the search, and there were no injuries. David, more prevalent. You're hearing this more and more and more. Thank goodness this was a toy gun instead of a real gun, because you know all these school shootings, all these church shootings, everything that is happening in our world today that involves a weapon. Hey, it seems like it's happening at these particular places. When me and you was growing up, David, those were safe havens. Do you remember? Hey, you could run to the church and get with a deacon or a preacher or a priest or whatever church you went to, and you can go inside the church and you would feel safe. School, same way. You know, you can go run into a classroom or run to the gym, wherever, get a coach or whatever, and you would feel safe. Now, David, those places ain't sacred anymore. Those places now, as you hear, there's probably what I tell you, there's averages one every 13 weeks or something like that, or every whatever it was, there's a school shooting that takes place, and it's or a church shooting, or even stores now, grocery stores, anything like that where there's people in it, movie theaters. It's just terrible, David. It really is.
It's great. It's crazy.
Yeah. It is, and you know, I'm hoping that we are going to be able to get a handle on these kind of things. But David, I just don't see it anytime in the near future unless we start upgrading our laws about if you get away. We need to start throwing away the keys. Is what we need to start doing, really, to be honest with you, and show these people that we mean business and that we're not going to allow school shootings, church shootings, shootings in public places. We're just not going to tolerate that. But it's got to start, David, with our politicians laying these laws down, enforcing these laws, and backing us up with these laws. If not, David, this stuff is going to continue. Also in Bradford County, in a follow-up to a previous on the sport report, Bradford County Commissioners approved a joint resolution with the Stark City Commission to dedicate State Road 230, which is Call Street, to the memory of Dr. Peter Giannis. Clay County had already approved a similar resolution along State Road 230, and this means the entire roadway between Stark and Giannis's home on Kingsley Lake is dedicated to that man. And I'll tell you, David, what a great man he was, what a great guy he was. As we reported before, Giannis opened his private practice in Stark and began work with Shands Hospital in 1983 after attending medical school at Johns Hopkins University and George Washington University. David, you don't get into those schools unless you're smart and sharp, and this guy definitely was. His career included serving as medical director for Alachua County, Bradford County, and other surrounding region. Giannis passed away 2 years ago at the age of 65. And Dr. Giannis, rest in peace. All right, over to Columbia County, where a missing CCSO K9 has been recovered after he disappeared following a chase on Monday. Deputies say K9 Chaos got off his leash while chasing Justin Dewey Pike, 29, on Monday after he ran from the sheriff's deputies. Chaos disappeared in the area of the Tyree Road and the Florida Gateway College entrance between US 90 and State Road 100, but was spotted and reunited with his trainer and his officer. The dog is in good health, and that's what we're worried about there. Florida Commissioner of Agriculture Wilton Simpson says a preliminary assessment estimates 289,000 acres of timber were damaged by Hurricane Idalia. Wow. 289,000 acres of timber. Wow. Costing more than $64 million in damages. The total cost of damage to the agricultural industry is expected to top over $371 million in losses as the state and companies work to recover. And David, we're still in recovery mode from Hurricane Idalia. There's still spots over there in the Big Bend area that, you know, for the most part, most of the power is back up. But David, some of these homes, some of these places that were sitting there on the coast is either washed away or had water 3 to 4 feet deep in those homes, and they're having to be rebuilt right now. But you know what, David? We're resilient people, and guess what? We're going to rebuild these things. We're going to make it bigger and better, and just pray and hope that another one of these things doesn't hit anybody, to be honest with you.
Absolutely.
All right, Dave, what else we got there? So in national news, the Federal Trade Commission and 17 state attorneys general filed a 17 state attorneys generals filed a sweeping antitrust lawsuit against Amazon Tuesday, seeking to bar the company from allegedly abusing its powers to raise prices for shoppers and levy high fees against businesses that sell on its platform. The long-awaited lawsuit filed in, there we go, Western Washington District Court marks a historical political test of one of the world's most influential companies, as well as the regulators who have promised for years to rein in its alleged monopoly practices. Finally, it's time for the recap recall featuring product recalls from the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission and the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. This week we have foam mattresses, chipper shredders, and portable generators. So listen up, ladies and gentlemen. If you have one of these items, I'm going to read off a number. Please make sure you call them. FXI recalls Novaform, Comfort Grande, and Dreamaway mattresses because the mattresses could have been exposed to water during the manufacturing process, allowing mold to develop and posing a health risk to individuals with compromised immune systems, damaged lungs, or an allergy to mold. Consumers with questions about their dryers can call, well, actually mattresses, I don't know what says dryers there, Dave, but that's all right, can call 1-888-886-2057.
Wow.
Wow, man. Check and see if you have one of those mattresses.
Yes,
Dr.
sir.
Power Equipment recalls Dr. Power chipper shredders due to pieces of metal can come loose from inside the shredder's housing and be ejected, posing a laceration hazard. Also, the hopper can become detached from the shredder, David, which would not be good, posing a laceration hazard as well. Anyone with questions or concerns can call customer service at 1-800-550-4845.
Wow.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Yeah, we just got to get back to it, David. Ain't no big deal right there. Anyway, welcome into On the Spot with David Rodgers. I am your host, David Rodgers, right along with the Dancing Destroyer, Super Dave Holland. Let me just welcome everybody in. Byron Bagwell's listening in, even though he's working. Good evening, brothers, sisters, patriots, infidels, and miscreants. Absolutely. Sam Shee Allstott says, good evening. Dwight Allen says, Byron Bagwell, good evening, brother. Amen to the prayer. Appreciate it. Jimmy Sparks from Lake City, good evening, sir. Scott Munnings, he's watching. Bartoli is watching. Also, Byron Bagwell is watching. How about that? Shirley Bagwell's watching. Thank you, Shirley, for what you did. Good evening, Wanda. How are you doing? Dwight Allen said Plato, which was a good guess on that first one. Patricia Baker says good evening. Is it Churchill? No, it wasn't Churchill. It was our founding father, said that back in 1776. That is Samuel Adams. Roy Jackson's watching. Benny Jackson's watching. R.I.P. Dr. G. Absolutely. That is because we took pistols and rifles as tools and not weapons. You can't legislate morality. Absolutely. Pepper Autistic, hello to you. How's it going up in North Carolina? Glad that you're on and tuning in to On the Spot with David Rodgers. Something that you may be interested in. I'm going to be talking with Mr. Ty Lee here in just a couple of minutes. He's got a couple of things that's going to be going on, i.e. dealing in wrestling. And I know I've been asked a lot of questions about this, but when Ty Lee comes up, I'm going to explain why some things are happening. I've gotten a lot of questions, probably as he has, about some things. But hey, we'll get into that when that segment comes. We are doing good, and we hope you're doing good. And Scott Munnings, good evening to you. All right, David, what else do we have? Oh, in national news, the Federal Trade Commission and 17th state attorneys general filed a suit sweeping antitrust law against Amazon Tuesday, seeking to bar the company from allegedly abusing its powers to raise prices for shoppers and levy high fees against businesses that sell on its platform.
Jeez. Why would you
It's
do
always,
that to the
man.
people
I
that buy
don't.
from?
Yeah, and especially a lot of people that buy from them. You know,
Yeah.
Amazon is one of the largest retailers in the country, David, and really they don't have any stores. It's all mail driven and shipping driven. And why would you do that to your customers? This is right here. Look. This is what, hey, they want more money, more.
That's
and
a
that's
customer-based business, and they got too much money to care about their customers.
Yes, they do. Joey Schufer, thank you, and welcome into On the Spot with David Rodgers. Got a lot of things to talk about here in just a little while. David, finally, it's time for the what else? Well, we got the recap there. Just go ahead and pass that because we talked about those, remember? Yeah. So just keep going there. If you can, there we go. And one more time. We talked about that. And finally, Safeway Fresh Foods recalls Sunnyside Farms organic butternut squash due to potential E. coli contamination. If you ever had the E. coli virus, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. You definitely don't want that. It makes you very sick. It gives you a bad stomach virus. It makes you feel like you have the flu, and even worse at times. Sometimes you have to go to the hospital for that. Again, E. coli contamination that can lead to serious illnesses. Anyone with questions or concerns can call customer service at 856-692-7200. These products plus other recalls can be found on the CPSC and the FDA websites. You can Google FDA recall or consumer recall to get the complete list, and we will feature recalls each week that could pose a threat to you. All right, David, what else we got? All right, here we go. We just gave you the news, local, a little bit of national, a little bit of recall report. Here's your on-the-spot weather report.
This weather report brought to you by Austin's Weather Service out of Keystone Heights. Find Austin's Weather Service on Facebook and have a detailed local forecast sent right to you.
Our weather brought to you by Michael Heater and, of course, Austin Stevens. Thank you for the weather report each and every week that we have. So, anyway, here we go with the weather report, Dave. Oh, boy, we got to start with the allergies. OTS allergy forecast. Top allergens are ragweed, grasses, and shinnepods, which has been for the last 3 weeks. Let's see. Tomorrow is not going to be too bad, David. Probably the lowest out of the week. Yeah. It's going to be 0.8. You're going to get a little relief from ragweed, grasses, and shinnepods. Then it's going to go up just a little bit on Thursday, 4.4, which is moderate. So not too bad. Then it's going to jump up a couple of more points on Friday, 6.3. And then Saturday jumps up a little bit more to 7. So take your allergy medicines, whatever you got to do to protect yourself, because it is going to get a little higher as we get into the weekend. For your weather now, David will bring that up here in just a second. Here we go. The OTS 4-day forecast is, the main thing is heavy rain and thunderstorms each day. David, after several days of great weather, guess what? Now, all of a sudden, here comes the rains. Yeah. So starting Wednesday, there's an 80% chance of thunder boomers, high of 86, low of 69. Thursday, again, 80% chance of thunder boomers, 83 for a high, 69 for a low. Friday, 70% chance of afternoon showers, 82 degrees for a high, 68 for a low. David, that's going to be a parade and homecoming week for the homecoming game. So I'm hoping for the game that this weather's out of here and we are able to play a clean game on a dry field, which is always dry and drains off good. And hopefully it's good weather because, hey, when you tape, you know, you want it to be good weather so we can definitely put out a good product as we bring you that live. And then Saturday, 50% chance of afternoon thunderstorms, high of 85, low of 69. Again, welcome into the show. I'm David Rodgers. Mr. Dave Holland, the dancer destroyer himself. No Byron Bagwell tonight. Got a special guest coming on with us. Mr. Ty Lee will be coming on talking about a big event that's going to be coming to start after a several-year hiatus. of it. And I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag yet. I'll let him, when he comes up, I'll let him talk about this, and we're going to go banter back and forth about it. But don't forget, Wednesday nights at Fun Point, trivia with Michael Heater. He's your host over there. Starts at 7 o'clock over at Fun Point, and then Thursday night at the Downtown Grill in Start. But this Thursday night, David, we're not having trivia. You want to ask me why?
Why, David?
Because we have Tornado World on Thursday. There's going to be 3,000 people over there at the stadium, and I guarantee you everybody's going to be watching the skits, the band, introducing of the football team, the parent skit. It's just going to be a fun evening, so we decided to cancel Thursday night team trivia. But the following Thursday, we will be back at 7:30 Thursday night at the Downtown Grill. All right, David, what else do we have, my man, as we welcome everybody into the show? Here we go, and now everyone's favorite segment, David, that brings back a little history, brought to you by our great media partners, WEAG, Eagle Country 106.3 FM, Chuck and Mary Kramer and Lynn Vellis, and Danny Vellis as well, and now Big Kevin, who's my bosses on Friday nights, and Byron's bosses as we bring you Tornado football. And our other media partner, the Bradford County Telegraph. There we go, the Bradford County Telegraph and their great staff, including owner John Miller, editor-in-chief Mark Crawford, the ad guru Ryan Tillman, and of course Mr. Photogenic himself, Cliff Smelly. Here's what's the date. Here's the headlines from the Bradford Telegraph during the 4th week of September and what year. Water management promises to fix flooding problems. Truancy crackdown makes it to court. And phone scams target elderly victims in Bradford. Was that the 4th week of September of 2015, 2017, or 2019? All right, David, let's give him a little hint there. Water management promises. Okay, here we go. Bradford County Judge Richard Davis Jr. had words of encouragement and warning for Bradford School District students who pile up excessive absences as truancy cases go to court. That particular year, David, we had a bunch of them, and I know the answer to this question already without even looking. Swanee River Water Management District was asking for patience as it works on multiple fronts to do the job of managing the region's water resources after more flooding occurred. And the sheriff's office warned elderly residents that phone scams were on the rise and to be very careful giving any personal information. Again, was this the 4th week of September of 2015, 2017, or 2019? Good evening. Welcome into the show. Just went over a lot of stuff. Dave Holland, David Rodgers here with you. Trying to be here each and every Tuesday that we can. Great to have you along. Don't forget the On the Spot Motorsports show, David. That's going to be at 7 o'clock on Thursday. Mitchell Gunner, who is the host of that show, he's got him another co-host, David. Did you know that? He's got him a new co-host. Did he tell you? Yeah, he does. So he's not doing the show by himself. They've got a great product going on. And, of course, tune in to On the Spot Motorsports. If you like NHRA, if you like NASCAR, if you like Formula One, if you like Grand Prix racing, if you like dirt track racing, if you like any kind of racing, Mitchell Gunner's got it for you. That's Thursdays at 7 o'clock. All right, this is where you can join in. Guys, we're going to, if you get this right, we're going to put you in a drawing for next week, David, because we got to do the drawing next week. This is the last week of September of 2023. So if you get it right, we'll put your name into the drawing for a chance to win a $25 gift card to the Downtown Grill. That's right, a $25 gift card to the Downtown Grill. We've had several winners over the years we've been doing this. We've had multiple winners. David, we've even had a winner that's won it 3 times. Did you know who that is?
Shirley Bagwell.
I think we got 2 then. I'll take that one. There's one more.
It's a guy.
Yeah, it is.
I can't remember his name.
Roy Jackson. Mr. Jackson. Yep. 2 3-time winners. Again, welcome everybody that's tuning in. Got a lot of things to go over. Just waiting for some of you guys' answers, and then we're going to move on with the show. I want to bring our special guest in here in just a few minutes, Mr. Ty Lee, as he is going to talk about an event that we've got coming up here in Bradford County. So, David, I've checked all the comments. Unless you've got any over there that I don't have, I'm just waiting on some answers. Actually, you're watching a show now, David. Did you know that?
I just brought it up.
You just brought it up. Here we go.
Second time.
Second time.
So
okay.
I can watch the comments.
So you can watch the comments. That's right. So we're waiting for you to do. David, let's go back and read just the topics. So again, this is where we play. What is the date? What's it called again?
I call it.
What's the date?
What's the
Yeah,
date?
these are the headlines from the Bradford County Telegraph of the 4th week of September. What year? Here we go. Water management promises to fix flooding problems. Truancy crackdown makes it to court. Phone scams target elderly victims in Bradford County. Was that the 4th week of September of 2015, 2017, or 2019? Waiting for you guys as guesses. Please join in and try to take a guess here on the date so we can have some names. David, you've got several names there for the drawing, right? For this coming week or for this coming month, next
Yes.
week. I mean, that you've been accumulating over the last 4 shows. Wow, several people there. Want you to get a chance to join in right here and see if you can guess the date of those particular headlines. Roy Jackson says, give him 2019, David. So Roy Jackson has chimed in. All right. While we're here, David, I'm gonna go. Ty, what do you think it was? 2015, 2017, or 2019? Let's take a stab.
2019.
He's going 2019 too. David,
Yes, sir.
you going? What you going with?
I'm going to go with 19.
You're going to go with 19. Okay,
Ty went with
19. Roy Jackson went with 19. Shirley Bagwell went with 19. You know what Randy Brooks said? Give me 2015. So Randy is the only one that said 2015 so far. Dwight Allen says, give me 19. How about that? And as guesses are coming in, welcome to On the Spot with David Rodgers. I am your host, David Rodgers. No Byron Bagwell tonight because he is working, trying to fill his work commitment. The dancing destroyer himself, Super Dave Holland. Byron Bagwell says 20. Byron Bagwell says 2019. What's he winning? Nothing. Dana Bell, how are you? It's been a while since I've seen you on. Thank you for joining in. Hey, we've got the Downtown Grill, chance for you to win a $25 gift certificate next week. So if you want to take a guess, was that date 2015, 2017, or 2019? David, go back and I'll read them for her. So here we go. Let's see here as David's going back. There we go. All right. Water management promises to fix flooding problems. Truancy crackdown makes it to court. Phone scams target elderly victims in Bradford County. Was that the 4th week of September, 2015, 2017, or 2019? All you got to do is give me a guess. We put your name in the hat. Boom. Next week, you'll have a chance to win a $25 gift certificate to the Downtown Grill. A lot of things to talk about, David. And, you know, I got several notes that I want to go over as we're waiting on guesses. First and foremost, if you don't know what's happening with Bradford Tornado football, we're 4-0 right now. We're ranked number 2 in Class 2S. And in the region, we're ranked number 2 as the power team. That includes 4 counties that over 50-something teams, and we're ranked 2.
wow.
So that is awesome right there. Again, we're 4-0. We beat Eastside the week before because we was on a bye week. So homecomings this week. I want to talk a little bit about that after we get done with Mr. Ty Lee.
Out of those 50 teams?
Teams, yeah, 50, roughly 50 teams.
Roughly 50 teams were ranked
2.
second.
Second. Yep. I forgot who was first. I'm trying to remember, but it wasn't Trinity Christian or Bowles. I want to say it was Bartram Trail. So.
Doesn't matter. I mean,
You're two. You're 2. A small school like this.
Keep going. We'll be 1.
Pretty much. Yeah. Some of these teams that were up above us has lost because we dropped in the power rankings. Remember, we started at 2, dropped to about 4, And now we're starting to make our way back up, and pretty soon we'll be one.
Yeah, and that number one team, all they got to do is lose one.
That's it. And if we win, we're up. Now we're the number one team in the region. Great to be a Tornado for the last couple of years. Dwight Allen says, go Big Red. Absolutely. But we got Keystone Heights for homecoming, 7:30 this Thursday night. All right, David, I think I got all the guesses in. You want to give me an answer, David? Let's see. You're gonna, let's do a drum roll here. Wait for it, and the answer is September of 2015.
Oh.
Randy Brooks, congratulations. He was the only one, right? The only one that got that right. So, man, he's going to have a chance to win a $25 gift certificate next month. But next week, we do have several people that has gotten it right but prior to this. But he'll be putting a hat as the only one that got that right. September of 2015. I'll tell you what, David, if you don't mind, I want to get Mr. Tylee in here because I want to get him in here. I know he's been working all day, and I want to get him in here and talk about what's going on, and then we're going to continue on with the show so I can get him to do what he needs to do. So can we take a quick commercial break and then come back with Mr. Tylee? All right, we'll be right back with our guest, Tylee, as soon as we take this commercial break.
Hey Tornado fans, this is Kurt Miracle of Miracle Automotive and Towing, proud sponsors of Tornado Football. I want to welcome you to beautiful Stark, Florida and David Hurst Stadium, and thank you for letting us be a part of this community. We're here for more than your automotive and towing needs. We're here to be part of Tornado Country. Go Big Red!
All right, welcome in, and look who I got right here. This is Tylee right here. Look at his outfit right here. We've got a big wrestling show coming up on November the 11th, Veterans Day. Yes, I've gotten a lot of questions about this. No, I am not on this show. I just want to go ahead and put the rumor mills to bed. No, I am not on this show. No, I am not sponsoring this show. No, I am not promoting this show. Let me just get the particulars out of the way. I am not promoting this show. I have nothing to do with this show that is going on right here. So, I'm sorry, and that's just the way it is. And I'm going to leave it at that, and we're going to go on and talk about the show that's coming up. So, again, welcome in Tylee. Known him for a long time when he was just a youngster, knee-high or so. And now he's become a young man now. He's got his belt right there, the World Heavyweight Extreme Championship belt right there. And again, welcome in, Ty, to On the Spot with David Rodgers. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself before we go into the show and everything. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself, how old you are, did you grow up in Bradford County, just tell this audience so they can get familiar with you.
Okay, so stepping away from the character Tylee, I was born in Homestead, Miami, and most of my childhood actually grew up in Panama City. For a little bit, I did grow up here in Bradford County. I did get to witness Mr. Dave Rodgers being in the ring with the one and only Eclipse, and got a lot of motivation from them to want to do professional wrestling. So whenever I turned the good old ripe age of 20, I started looking for some wrestling companies that'll actually train me, and finally found one by the name of Legacy Classic Championship Wrestling, owned and operated by the first autistic person to own and operate a wrestling company, Mr. Ricky Autistic. And he was my main rival for the first year and a half. But now that I'm 22, I've decided not only do I want to wrestle, which, keep in mind, I won this in Alabama. I got to go back in 2 weeks to defend it.
Okay.
So I currently am the Wiregrass Wrestling Alliance Extreme Heavyweight Champion. One of my main rivals up there is Malachi. We'll get into him a little bit later on. But I'm now 22, and I've decided not only do I want to wrestle in shows, I want to put on my own shows. Hence why, here and around Facebook, y'all have been hearing of Tri-County Championship Wrestling. That is the company that I have started. I am the owner and operator of. I have quite a few CWA alumni coming in to make appearances on the show, do commentary. I've even got a couple of them actually wrestling on the show. And my main purpose for bringing wrestling back to Bradford County is everybody loved it. It's been gone since
2015?
No.
2014?
No, 2019 we had the Buck Buchanan
Okay,
Memorial
the Memorial Show. But I'm talking as far as every month shows or every quarterly.
2015.
Yeah, 2015
Yes,
is the
sir.
last time that anything of substance has been going on. But he's right. The reunion show happened here as well.
Well, I will go ahead and admit I have been trying to do this show for the past 4 years. And it's just now I'm able to do it. I basically got a lot of people in low places. I'll go ahead and say that. Saturday, November 11th at the Bradford County Fairgrounds, I am partnering with Michael Heater and Fantastic Entertainment. The event's called Fantastic Entertainment Presents the Red, White, and Blue Salute to the Veterans. It's going to be at 3 p.m. at the fairgrounds. I will let everybody know you will want to be there at 3 o'clock. While our show does start at 4, we have an unsanctioned match before the show starts, and we have a major unsanctioned match afterwards. So you're only going to want to be there early and be there a little bit afterwards because, like I said, it's going to be a fun-packed night, bunch of wrestling, bunch of action, and we got 2 ECW legends coming. We're going to have Bill Alfonso at ringside for quite a few of the things,
Wow. And
one ECW legend, one of the pit bulls, Gary Wolf, will be in action at our show. If everything goes according to plan, so far we've got about 6 shows we're trying to do within the next year, November 11th being the first one. While 6 shows a year is only 1 every other month, my goal is to do it to where we're doing 1 to 2 shows a month. I will say
that sounds like a lot.
it is a lot,
Yeah, it is.
but I can do it. With the guys that I have, we can do it. With the fan base that we have, we can do it.
All right, and which I do want to talk to you about that because, again, wrestling's been gone since 2015 as far as steady running. I know that working with your stepdad, Steve Wicks, Eclipse, as everybody knows. I know there toward the end, it was starting to get hard to run shows every month. And, with some things that happened with Steve, we just had to disband that particular organization, which was CWA, as he said, Coastal Wrestling Association. He's got some of the guys on the show. My question to you is, and again, I'm not trying to be negative here. Hey, 2 shows a month, I mean, that is a lot right there. Can you keep the fan base interested and keep them coming, to make the gate that you need to be able to perform these shows and keep it interesting? Because again, I think 1 show a month is almost too much. I learned my lesson from that. Again, I know you've got some different things, you've got some different people that you are working with, but if I was to run one, I'd do it every 3 months is my thing there. That's 4 shows a year. I know an organization that's doing that now. What's going to make you different than what has been going on, and what is occurring in some other organizations that we know in the region?
Currently, the reason why I think we're going to make it big as we will is the storytelling. The people that I have wrestling the show, if you don't know, and I'm sorry I'm pulling back the curtain on wrestling, it's storytelling, it's entertainment. The point of our matches is to go out there and tell you a story. Now, if I go out and face some 6'5", 350-pound beast, then the story we got to tell is it's David versus Goliath. He's got strength while I got speed. The way I look at it is the guys that I have paired against each other are some of the best storytellers that the Florida Independent Circuit has ever seen. And the stories we can tell will go on forever. Because I have guys working with guys they've never worked with before. I have had guys that know each other for the past 20, 25 years who can go in there and work a match without even saying anything to anybody.
Right.
Well, that sounds great.
Our stories that we can tell and the way that we can tell our stories is what's going to keep them coming back. For the time being, like I said, we're going to be doing 6 shows a year. I'm not going to lie, we have a fundraiser we're slated for the 2nd weekend of March, and then we also are slated in the last day of the fair. So that's going to be 2 shows within a month that we're going to try and do. And honestly, if we can do that and pack the places, then I think we should be good. Like I said, as long as we continue to tell the stories the way the audience would like to tell the story, which I'm not going to lie, sometimes you're going to be mad at us. You're not going to like the story we want to tell because it's not going to be the happy.
Well, and that's what wrestling is all about. David, did you have a question or a comment?
I was wondering about the announcer. Do you have somebody set up to introduce and announce?
Yes, sir. We actually got the ring announcer and the ring in a package deal. We are renting the ring, and not renting the ring announcer, but we are getting the ring announcer from USWA, United States Wrestling Alliance, out of Jacksonville. The one and only Brandon Alexander will be our ring announcer, and USWA will be lending us their ring for the events.
Awesome.
Yes,
Awesome.
sir.
That sounds good. All right, so I know you're trying to get the show kicked off, and obviously we wouldn't be talking about it unless it wasn't going to go off the ground right now. So
our sponsorship packages, we have 3 different packages. I don't know the exact details, but I know one of them is a talent package, which is $100. You can sponsor one of our talents per show or for the year. And then we have 2 different show packages. We have a $500 package and we have a $1,000 package.
right.
And it comes with multiple benefits, shout outs on our page. Your logo is going to be on our flyers, on our page. When we go into the ring, they will be announced. This match is brought to you in part by, let's say, Harry Business. They presented this match. I know we do have 2 businesses here in town that's sponsoring us, which is 301 Tattoo and Piercing. Thank you to Nate down at 301. And we also have Michael Heater with the Fantastic Entertainment Brigade.
How would a potential sponsor be able to get a hold of you?
They would be able to reach out to me on Facebook via the page, Tri-County Championship Wrestling, or my personal page, which is Ty Lee. You will see me quite literally in this outfit with this championship over my shoulder. Easy to reach out to me, or if you'd like, reach out to the Fantastic Entertainment page or Michael Heater himself. That is my main partner when it comes to all of this. So,
what is the BT Robertson Gmail?
That is my Gmail. That is my personal Gmail. I honestly only use it for jobs, but for those of you who still actively use
that was
email,
the one you gave me. That's why I got it on there.
If y'all would like to email me, it is btrobinson152@gmail.com. That is my personal email. If y'all would like a number to call to try and reserve seats and tickets, number is 904-901-3166. That is my personal cell phone number. We'll mark it down. We'll get you the money sent in, or I'll come get it person to person, and we'll go ahead and reserve that seat for you.
And let me help you out as well. You can hit us on the spot 32091@gmail.com. If you are interested in sponsoring this or interested in tickets, I'll forward the information to Ty or to Michael. And what else, David? They can hit us on Messenger. They can hit us on our Facebook page.
Give us a call.
Give us a call or whatever, and we'll make sure.
Shop. Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta stop by. I gotta get a haircut.
There you go. See, he's already got to get a haircut. No, I am not involved in this show. I'm just going to leave it at that. I knew I was going to get a lot of questions about that, and I sort of warned Ty about that. I am not involved with this show. I am into football right now. I'm calling games. I'm doing things with that.
Can I ask something?
Yes.
On the off season, you mind coming and doing ring announcer for one show for mine?
Yeah, I may do that. We could possibly do that. Yeah, that's
a possibility.
That possibility, people. Yeah. So
by that time, you're doing 2 shows a month.
Exactly.
Well,
I'll have him on one show and Brandon on the other.
There you go. Or we can come in and do some commentary or something. Whatever the case may be.
There we go.
Dave and Brand can fight over it.
No.
Come on, Dave, you got one more.
No. Yeah. No, we'll come out and do some commentating. But no, y'all go out and support this show. Wrestling needs to come back. I've had a lot of people ask me. I haven't wanted to pull the trigger. And I've talked to Ty about this. I've talked to several of the wrestlers that me and you know that are together. And the reason I didn't, again, is because I love football. During the fall, I have to concentrate on doing the radio broadcast for WEAG. That's where, who's paying me to do those broadcasts. It's my job. It's but I love doing it. And not that I don't love wrestling, because I do, and I still watch it, and I still follow these guys, still follow all the people that was a part of CWA. I just got another passion and another love and another thing that I need to do, and I really, Ty, appreciate you inviting me to that next show, whenever that may be, and we'll talk about it for sure. You was going to say, go ahead.
I forgot one more thing.
Yes.
A good portion of our proceeds is actually going to support a Veterans Foundation over in Keystone.
Nice.
So not only are we doing Red, White, and Blues salute to the veterans, we are actually donating part of our proceeds to the Veterans Foundation over there in
Good
Keystone.
job.
I know Michael has the exact name. I don't exactly have it, and he's going to tear into me later. I'm sorry, Michael. But yes, a portion of our proceeds is going to a Veterans Foundation based out of Keystone.
Now, and you mentioned Michael Heater. Another way that you can get through them is through the Fantastic Fire Brigade.
Yep.
So you can hit him on that page. You can hit him on his emails. You can hit him on his personal page. I'm sure whatever you need to do to get a hold of him. Again, they're still looking for sponsorships. Hey, they're not going to turn down anything. Pre-sale on tickets. Let me ask you that. Are y'all pre-selling tickets at the door? What are y'all doing at this point?
If you want to buy tickets right now, you can buy tickets. We'll basically what we have is we have 500 seats altogether. 100 in the front row, 400 others.
Right.
The front row is going to be $15. General admission is $10. Okay. So if anybody wants to start pre-ordering tickets, whether it's through Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, or if you want to meet in person, pay in cash, I'm here in town a lot, I can meet up and we'll go ahead and reserve that seat. What we'll do is we'll collect the cash, we'll go ahead and write down your name and everything, write it down on a page, and then as soon as you show up to the show, show us your ID, proving you're on our list, and we'll go ahead and give you whichever bracelet you purchase, whether it's front row or general admission. Now, keep in mind, I do understand quite a few independent wrestling promotions typically cost about $10 a ticket, whether it's general admission or front row.
Right.
The reason we are doing two separate cost of tickets is, like I said, number one, we are going to need to cover the cost of our show because they are not cheap.
Of course, definitely. Well, I can attest to that. So he's saying the truth for sure.
Not only that, we want to make sure we do have a good envelope going to the Veterans Foundation,
which is the main thing right there.
Yes,
Again,
always.
tell everybody where the show's going to be, what times again, and what they should do.
Bradford Fairgrounds, Saturday, November 11th. The doors open at 3, show starts at 4, but like I said earlier, we have 2 unsanctioned matches, one before the show, one after. You do not want to miss either one of them.
All right, tell everybody, because some of these people aren't wrestling fans or may not follow wrestling, tell them what an unsanctioned match is.
An unsanctioned match is basically a match that happened without anybody putting it together. They just threw people out there in the ring and they made the match happen. Now, I won't...
You don't have to give it away. Don't give it away.
I'll give away one of them.
Okay.
Not the last one. The unsanctioned match before the show is actually a battle royale with every wrestler on the show competing for a spot in the main event to capture the TCCW Level Up Championship. They will be the inaugural champion if they can win the battle royale and then go on to the main event to face Gary Wolf.
Wow. Okay, so you just heard him say that. An unsanctioned match is, his company is TCCW. So TCCW and the Board of Governors and everybody that's involved putting on the show didn't sanction this match. This match is happening on its own, but it's going to carry over into their main event. How many matches you got, by the way? I meant to ask you. Right now, what's the card right now? You still selling?
Including the unsanctioned match?
Yeah.
We have 8.
8. Okay, so 6 regular matches within the show,
yes,
the 2 unsanctioned matches. Okay.
What you keep in mind, wrestlers will always tell you, card is subject to change.
Yeah, and promoters will tell you too that.
We may have 8 matches. Shoot, y'all may get there and we may have 4. Either way, we are going to have one of the best shows you have seen since CWA Rock the House.
Nice, and that's exactly right.
I will sit here, and I'm not going to throw any shade. I'm actually going to give them a lot of credit. If y'all ever want to see a good show when we're not running, or you ever want to become a professional wrestler yourself, Saturdays in McClinney, Destiny Combat Championship Wrestling, DCCW, owned and operated by Steve, the Ghetto Superstar Pender.
Yep.
He runs his company out there. Every other month they do a show, and it is one of the best shows I've ever been a part of.
Me too.
I was a referee at their last show, and I'm not going to lie, I kind of got hurt. I took a splash in an enziguri in the corner when I wasn't supposed to. But things happen when you're a referee.
Of course.
I'm pretty sure you know.
Of course.
They have one of the best shows around here. So when TCCW isn't running, y'all get down to McClenny and go watch some DCCW. They are awesome. Not only are they a wrestling company, they are a great ministry.
Yes, they are. And talking about at intermission, there's always some kind of a message that's being brought out, whether it's a testimony from somebody, him, or anybody it does. It gives me goosebumps too. Or whether it's Steve, whether it's Vanessa, whether it's whoever, there's always a message to be given. And let me tell you something, man. For where they put that on inside that church and the way they regrouped that church.
I will say they have moved back to the Baker County Fairgrounds.
Okay, they have. Okay, so all shows are being ran there now?
So far, the past 4 or 5 have been running at the Baker County Fairgrounds.
So, but when they do it inside that church, David, they take all the seats out. And I know you've been there for a show. They take all the seats out. They put the ring in the center of the sanctuary. They use the stage as their sound and their lighting and everything. Man, let me tell you, they put the seats all around it. You're talking about an atmosphere. What are they still averaging over there? Just give me a number. They're 140, 150?
They sell out. I know the last show we had to pull out 70 more chairs.
Wow.
They sold out.
Wow. So what are you talking, 250, 200?
250 to 300 people. Yeah, they sell out. They bring the house down. And keep in mind,
that's what you need to do on it.
They run every other month or so.
Yes, they do. Yes,
they are
they do.
their own sponsors. The only sponsor they have is Pinder Roofing, which Steve owns and operates himself.
Right.
They are literally a self-sufficient company that can pack out the house no matter who they have on the crowd.
Now, let me, and you're exactly right. That's why I was asking about. And I know you're going to take this slow and get it built up eventually. And I hope and I pray that you can run 2 times a month or 1 time a month, whatever it is. But see, Steve over there, just like he said, he keeps them hungry for it. Hey, you miss a month, and they're going, oh man, when's wrestling coming back? When's wrestling coming back? Just like he said. Yeah. And then boom, here comes a show. And what did he just say? 250 to 3? Had to pull out 70 extra chairs? That's what you want right there. And that's what this young man will do eventually as things start progressing. Got to get the audience back in. Hey, there hasn't been wrestling here for 8 years. So, with the exception of the one show. I know there's some, right. And you know, I know Waldo does a little something there every once in a while. But besides that, there hasn't been nothing steady here. And this young man is trying to do something. So, hey, what I want you to do is, I want you to support this young man in whatever he's trying to do. He's trying to put on a good product here, and just support him. Try to bring wrestling back here. It's great entertainment. It's very inexpensive entertainment. You think about it. Look, I understand ringside seats are $15, but they're $15 for a reason. And now, $10 general admission, you can bring a family of 4 for $40. Are you having concessions?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, you can go and eat at the concession stand for $60. You can get 2 to 3 hours worth of entertainment. And you can't go to the movie theater for that. I can assure you that. You can't almost go to the football game for that.
And also, to take your kids, give them the opportunity to yell and scream and pick out their favorite wrestler.
Right.
Exactly.
You know, eventually they're going to be dressed up like one.
Absolutely. And that's the whole key right there. Look, somebody may get this outfit right here, stand up and show them that how.
That kind of pat my belly, but.
I know Kid Hollywood is on this show here. Is he still dressing in his deal? Don't give it away, because I don't want you to give it away. But
I will sit here and say Kid Hollywood still does look very colorful. Kid Hollywood.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and give this match away. Kid Hollywood is actually stated against the one and only Barry Hardy.
Wow. Remember Barry? Old Barry Hardy back into the ring. Boy, I'm surprised that he's even wrestling anymore. But hey, he still keeps himself in good shape. He's, you know, he does the Hot Wheels stuff and the car stuff, but he's still wrestling every once in a while, so that ought to be a great match.
Not to poke fun at Kid Hollywood, but he actually messaged me the other day whenever I started posting pictures in this gear, and he goes, man, I don't like it. You're exactly what I wanted Kid Hollywood to be when I started.
I knew you was going to say that.
I'm sorry, man. I can't help it. But I will say, typically, I have been wearing this to the ring. You will either see me in this, or I will be in one that's hot pink. Depends if I can get those sewn up in time.
I'll ask him that. Who's that? Judy wants to know, what is Michael Heater to the show? Is he just an advertising partner? Is he part owner of this? Is he the money guy? Is he your sponsor?
Not only is he a sponsor, not only
Okay.
is he helping me get a lot of connections.
Right.
Whenever I first posted about bringing wrestling back to Bradford County,
Right.
Michael was the only person who reached out to try and help and instantly told me if I wanted it, he'd put $1,000 towards the show.
Wow.
So I accepted the help. Actually, the belt that we are having made to raffle off for the shows has fantastic entertainment side plates. And
Okay.
everything. So Michael, as long as he wants to stay around and help out, I will accept his help all day. And
So he's a sponsor mainly, right? He's your title sponsor.
yes,
Let's
sir.
call it that.
And he is great because I asked him. I'm not going to say how much we're looking at possibly making from the show, but I said, Michael, are you sure you don't want anything back out of this? And he goes, man, as long as I get credit and as long as I can make people happy, that's all I want.
Yeah, and that's usually Michael, and you know, like I said, that's the way he works. So,
He's great.
So again, I hope that answers your question. Also, they wanted you to repeat the times.
Okay, the times. Doors open at 3, show starts at 4.
Okay, so there you
3 and
go.
4.
All right, David, you got another question? friend?
I was just thinking if I wanted to buy a ticket online, how would it be written out or?
So I already have a book at the house where I have 500 different name slots filled in with numbered 1 to 500. As soon as someone messages me online wanting a ticket, I'll go ahead and write their name down, and then whatever section they're in, front row or general admission, and then I'll go ahead and have them send the money to either Michael or myself, whether it's PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App. We will hold that money until day of, and then once they arrive at the venue, we'll go ahead and match their ID with the name to our list and go ahead and give them the proper name.
I like that. I like that conception there, and whoever's working the door, that's going to make it a lot easier, with the exception of the people that are paying at the door. So, what else? David, you got any other questions, man? I can't think of any. I just hope this works out for you, man. I told you this when you first told me about it. I hope it works out for you. We're going to do everything that we can to help promote it.
Am I gonna do one more thing?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Okay, so y'all don't know this, but there's this little guy down in Orlando that's challenging me for this show. He calls himself the Ice Dragon, okay? He ain't got no tail, he don't breathe fire, no ice, he ain't that big and
The
bad.
Ice Dragon, David.
So I'm here to go ahead and lay out the challenge to the Ice Dragon. You want me? November 11th, I'll see you in the ring, and as a matter of fact, I'll do it this much. I got you on the opening match, brother.
Wow, so you're going to open up the show with that. Okay, all right, Ice Dragon, whoever you are, man. Hey, the challenge has been issued. Hey, come on with it. Hey, the Ice Dragon from Orlando, David.
Amen.
Yes, I was known as Mr. Saturday Night when I was wrestling. And somebody asked that question. Yes, I was. I don't use that name too much anymore unless I am doing a wrestling event. Go by Mr. Friday Night now because, of course, I do the football games. So, but yes, I was known as Mr. Saturday Night. Did you used to come watch the shows or something? That's that. I'm sure that's where they know that from. They probably used to come watch the shows. So, but anyway, yes. So, Tom, I really appreciate you coming on. We will promote this as best as we can. And again, if we see any monies that are coming this way, I'm going to forward them to you or to Michael. And I really appreciate you stopping in. If you want to stop in the middle of the month again, and let's reiterate this again, we'll do it. Let's do it. I mean, you know, we're always here on Tuesdays. So, again, we'll be more than glad to have you. Maybe Michael can join in on the next one. I tried to invite him to this one, but he said he was busy. So maybe he can join in on the next one, and he can talk from the sponsorship side as well, because I know you're trying to, before we go, he'll attest to this. One of the hardest jobs to ever do is try and put on a wrestling show. Try to be the promoter of a wrestling show. Me and Steve Wicks did this, and Booker, and Worker. He's gonna work his own show. Now, he chooses to do that, you know. So, you don't. A lot of promoters don't, do they nowadays? I've been out of the business a little bit. Is a lot of the promoters now Are they working?
There's only one that I know, and that's the ghetto superstar, Steve Tinder.
Okay, so, but most promoters are in the background. They're doing their thing, running the locker room, doing the things that they need to do. So there's going to be two of them. So Steve Pender, a.k.a. the ghetto superstar, and this young man right here. But I will tell you, that is the hardest thing to do, because between now and then, and he knows this, I'm not saying anything to anybody that anybody else doesn't know. He's going to get a phone call. Man, I'm stuck, man. I can't make it, blah, blah, blah. That's what you were saying about 6 matches. You know what I mean? It could be 4, it could be 5. But whatever. Okay, see, he's already getting phone calls.
I'm not going to say which one, but there's a guy on our flyer who begged for 2.5 weeks to be booked on the show. We put him on the show, put him in an important match on the show, put him on the flyer. 2 days later, calls and says he can't work the event. He's going to work another.
See, and that's the other thing that promoters and bookers and things have to they have to work with. So now he's got, not only on top of the sponsorships that he's trying to do and get all that, now he's got to figure out who can fill in that match that's going to be the best fit for that match. So
is there a way you can, like, put them on a contract?
The way we look
okay, that's a great question. You want to answer that? You want to answer that? I'll let you answer.
Every professional wrestler will tell you, unless you're signing me to a multi-million-dollar deal, I will not sign any piece of paper unless it's a waiver stating I won't sue you unless if I get injured. Other than that, I won't sign no contract or anything you give me.
And you're not forcing those guys to do it either, right? No, you're just signing a waiver, right?
The only thing they sign, and this is any and everybody who gets a TCCW ring, they will sign a waiver that states they will not hold myself or TCCW or the Bradford County Fairgrounds accountable if they get injured. It's on you. You're stepping into that ring of your own free will. If you get injured,
great question.
It is on you.
Yeah, that's a great question, by the way. Excellent question, Dave. Yeah, so, you know, this card, what you're seeing, like he just said, it's liable to change. And it's probably gonna now, with the one guy for sure, but you never know. How many times have you been at a CWA event, you as well, me or Steve get a phone call at 4:30. Can't make it, David. I'm not gonna say who they were. High important guys that were in a semi-main event or a main event, and now you've got to shuffle the card. You know what I mean? Now you've got to take everybody and see what pieces fit. I hope that doesn't happen to this young man, but it could. I hope not, but it could happen.
Within a course of 2 weeks, I rewrote that card 26 times. Because either guys weren't comfortable working with another, didn't like the guy, or didn't know the guy, or just didn't want to work that match in general. So I've literally had to rewrite my card 26 times within the past month, and with a couple guys dropping off, I've got to go rewrite it.
In relation to talking about CWA,
you
guys always seem to pull it off and have several matches in a night.
Yes, no matter
what you went through.
You don't let the crowd down.
What he just said, you can't let the crowd down. Like he said, he's got 2 unsanctioned matches on the front and the back end. Then he's got 6 matches that he's got in the nucleus. Like he said, what if somebody calls or something happens where that drops down to 5 now? He's still got to go out there with his workers and put on the best possible show that he can for the fans. He can't worry about that 6th match. Nope. He's got to go out there with what he's got and what he knows. And this happens all the time. And see right there, to me, that was, I'm going to say it right here in front of you, ladies and gentlemen. Steve Wicks would say it as well. That's bad business. That's bad business. I'm sorry. You don't call and tell a guy, hey man, put me on this match. I want to be on the flyer. And then now you're going to call 2 weeks later and say, he didn't call and say he was going to have something was going on. And he texted you, he probably didn't say it. And then says you're going to work another show? That's disrespectful to him.
Told me he had to drop out due to personal reasons, and then 3 days later I see him on the face of another flyer for another company.
He'll never. Well, I'm not going to give all that stuff away. He'll never work. No, he's never going to work that show again.
No, down the road you're going to get a little bigger, and then a little bit bigger, and then he's going to start hearing about you guys.
And he's going to be too late.
And he's going to be out.
Out the door.
I'll throw this out. If the crowd can hang on with us for a little bit, I can guarantee, because I'm in contacts with him, within the next year, you will see ECW legend Sabu on our show.
Oh, that'll be a great hit.
Give it 6 months. 6
That'll
months,
be
mark
great.
my words from right now. 6 months, we will have Sabu on our show.
Good deal.
Man. Keep it
Well, Tom, man, I tell you what, thank you for stopping by. We'll schedule another show here in a few weeks to get everybody reminded. We'll see if we can get Michael Heater on. Thanks for stopping by, big guy.
Thanks for having me, Dave.
Hey, I love you, man. Thank you. And we'll see. Well, hey, I may take you up on that second show. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Hey, let me see what the promoter's offering, and then we'll see if we can get on the show. So, thank you, Ty. Appreciate it. Hey, we'll be right back to close out the show after these commercial breaks. All right, here we are back to On the Spot with David Rodgers. You just heard from Ty Lee, who's putting on an event, TCCW, coming to you Veterans Day at the Bradford County Fairgrounds, a.k.a. sponsored by the Fantastic Fire Brigade. David, look, at the end of the day, I want to see everybody succeed in whatever they do, even if it's us, him, whoever. You know, look, I'm not on this card. I've got things that I need to do. As well, and we got to do as well. That particular day, David, I may go ahead and let the cat out of the bag. I haven't told you guys yet. Pascagoula, Mississippi, screaming for us to come do a show, and they'd like to do it on November the 11th. I got to see what you guys are up to. That is Veterans Day. We'll take a look at that.
Monday?
It is a Saturday. It's a Saturday. You would have to miss work, but. Hey, we could take a trip over there, but David Versace messaged me, been talking to a lot of people. A lot of people are excited for us to come over there. Want to definitely see Byron Bagwell. I knew that was coming from the political aspect of things. So,
How long of a drive is that?
6.5. 6.5, 7.
Get over there early morning. Be there
Check
by
into our room, get a little something to eat. Yeah, noonish, get everything set up, test everything out. Go check it out where I told you, that I'll show you where I grew up, my high school and all that.
Wonder if they're going to invite guests and have.
We are. It is going to be guest filled. So a lot of my classmates, a lot of people that live in Pascagoula know about us and know about me, know about you and Byron. They want to be there. So I assure you that we'll get some people in there. So that would be, David, correct me if I'm wrong. Would that be the first live show that we've done? I mean, where there's an actual audience, or have we done something else? The only other thing that I can think of is when me and Ashley first started this thing off, that we had the crowd, the beach crowd at Panama City, where we was doing it. We had several people around there. But have we actually had a show where we was in front of a live audience? With the exception of like tornado football and things like that.
I can say we've done shows in other locations, Pizza Hut, Miracle Towing, other locations, but to perform in front of a crowd, no.
No. So this will be our first dealings. Caleb Vaughn from Lake City. Brother, I'm glad to see you, man. Thank you for joining the show. If you're just coming on, we went over a lot of stuff earlier in the show. It's 8:25 Eastern time, and I want to start closing the show down here a little bit. Just want to go over a few things, David. Homecoming week this week. A lot of things going on. So parents, if you're watching and you need to know what's going on, I'm going to tell you some of the things that are happening here. Homecoming dress-up days, David. Into the Tornado verses, they call it, September the 25th through the 30th. All attire must abide by dress code. So, you know, during homecoming week, they dress up each and every day as whatever. This is more of a Spider-Verse type thing. So, today, or yesterday, was dress up as your favorite character or wear your favorite Marvel gear. So, Spider-Man, those guys, I am sure some people dressed up as that. Time Travel Tuesday was today. Dress as your favorite decade. Shelley was telling me that there were some kids that dressed up in 70s gear, 80s gear. Well, that would be cool, man. Hey, you talk about time travel. Oh, yeah, you talking about time travel. My goodness, brother. I imagine some of the outfits for that. Anything but a backpack Wednesday. That's tomorrow, David. Use anything as a backpack besides an actual backpack. What would you use?
You know, you can get those bags in like TJ Maxx. They've got handles on them. Big paper bags.
Oh, God,
Throw that over your shoulder.
That's a good idea. Hey, that's a good idea. You know what I'd get? A Dollar General bag and just carry that with me.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. The Dollar General bag. And then Barbecue Dads versus Soccer Moms on Thursday, which is Tornado World Day. Wear your best barbecue dad or soccer mom attire. That ought to be interesting.
That'll be interesting.
That'll be interesting. So they got a lot of fun stuff coming up this week during homecoming. David, on Thursday night, and I'm wondering if me and you ought to get together because I'm not doing anything that particular day. I don't have trivia. So I'm wondering if me and you, if I can find my hotspot, go up there and video and bring live Tornado World for people that can't be here. Is that a possibility?
Tell me about Tornado World.
So this is where all the kids, your daughter probably is, your granddaughter is going to be in there. So this is where they do all the skits, you know, the freshmen, the sophomores, the juniors, the seniors do skits and make everybody laugh and try to stay within theme. The band will be out there performing, the cheerleaders, both the varsity, junior varsity football players, varsity football players.
They're going to have a dance and invite the parents to it also.
The parent skit, too, is involved in that at the very end. That's right. What do you think?
Riley's parents and her, they're all going to be
going to be in it. So wouldn't it be?
I think I'm already scheduled to be there with them, but I can be there with you, and we can.
Until then, until you got to perform?
No.
Okay. So no, that's fine. So we can stay up there and tape the performance. We can bring it live on my page or on the Spot with David Rodgers page for anybody that's outside the area. You know, that can't be here. Wouldn't that be a treat for them? They probably ain't seen Tornado World in years.
Absolutely.
So me and you will get together on that, David, and do you want to do it from the outside, or do you want to do it that's something we can talk about.
Okay, we'll
talk about that. All right. Then Friday, of course, is the big homecoming. Well, let me back up. The parade. The parade starts at 1 o'clock. A lot of entries into the parade. You're going to have your sweethearts, your princesses, your king and queen courts, and all that. People within the community, they're going to be in the parade. Candy's going to be given out. And that parade is one of the biggest parades, David, in Bradford County for the whole year.
We need to comment on the fact that they're not going to be throwing candy.
No. When I mean by throwing, tossing, or maybe even giving it to them.
Yeah, not even down the side road. They're going to be stationed in an area where the people can go by and collect candy. So, Pam was telling us that last week.
Yes, she was. And I know for sure she was talking about the Christmas parade, but I'm assuming the homecoming parade followed the same guideline. All of them. So make sure you go out there and check out the parade, as it's going to be going down 301. The backside of Washington Street ought to be big like it usually is. And then, of course, David, the homecoming football game, which we'll bring to you from On the Spot with David Rodgers, my video guy, the director, the producer of this show, the dancing destroyer himself, Super Dave Holland, is going to be bringing that to you live. We're going to be doing a radio broadcast pregame show on WEAG Eagle Country 106.3 at 7. Kickoff at 7:30. Me and Byron Bagwell will be bringing you the action. So make sure if you can't go, which David, I encourage everybody to go. This game is against Keystone Heights. Yes, it doesn't sound like the Tornadoes going to, but you never know in a rivalry game. You never know what you're going to get. That team can come out, Keystone can come out fired up. Coach Steve Reynolds over there may have a game plan for us. That game could be closer than what people think. And on top of it being homecoming, it's a district game. Need to win those district games so you can stay atop, so you can host instead of traveling.
Yeah.
Because if you're the runner-up, you have to travel. So very, very important. I know Coach Jamie Rodgers and his staff is preaching that. So go in there and play the game like you're supposed to play it.
What was that, a couple years ago? We host like 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, last year. You remember? Straight in a row. Last year. So over the last 2 years, we're 16-2. The only 2 losses were to Live Oak. When we went to Live Oak, remember that game, that 10-7 game we should have won. And Cocoa beat us in that state semifinal.
Yeah.
We had, was it 8 home games? 9 home games out of that 14-game season? Yeah. That's great. You want everything to come. You want to be at home. Not only for your fans, but for ticket sales. It helps your athletics. Hey, the more money you bring in here, the better it is for everybody. The better it is for all sports. Football drives everything because it's the bigger gate. It drives basketball, it drives baseball, it drives softball, it drives volleyball, it drives weightlifting, it drives it all. And anytime that we can get a home gate, we definitely want it. What do you think?
I think that's going to be a great opportunity to get as many games as we can to host them.
But Tornadoes, David's got to take care of business. They can't slip up. No slip-ups now.
I think they're going to do okay.
I think so, too. All right, we got a testing on October the 11th, PSAT school day for the sophomores, SAT seniors, non-reportable who need concordance scores for Algebra 1 or ELA for graduation requirements. That is on October the 11th. Hey, David, I wish that me and you were going. Class of 2026 presents a glow party. You want to go to a glow party?
I don't even know what a glow party is.
Well, I'm fixing to tell you. HOCO dance, homecoming dance, 7 o'clock on Saturday, September the 30th. Where at? The BHS Gymnasium. Drinks and food, David, $15 if you're a single, $25 per couple. They're going to have drinks and food and a candy bar. But there is some requirement. Students with 2 or less unexcused absences from August the 10th to September 28th may attend. Your ticket will be invalidated if you exceed that number, and if you purchase a ticket, no refunds. So it is what it is. Tickets must be purchased in the front office with Mrs. Wynn. Last day to purchase your tickets for the homecoming dance was today. Said Tuesday, September the 26th, David. Hope you got your homecoming dance tickets, or you're not going.
I think I got 3 unexcused.
Do you? You can't go, David. Your ticket is invalidated. Your ticket is invalidated. All right, how about this? Homecoming special, David. We probably need to get us one. All right. An adult t-shirt, $15. A youth t-shirt is $12. Adult polo is $20. And they got $5 bags. And this is what it looks like, David. You can put it up there a little bit. I know it's in black and white, but put it up there so people can see right there. That's what you can get. That's your homecoming special. If you or your family wants to purchase that, make sure you get in on that. That's the homecoming special. Hey, you can't beat that. A Bradford Tornadoes bag, a Bradford Tornadoes shirt, Bradford Tornado polo, and another. It's just good stuff, David. Good stuff. David, it's 8:35, and I'll tell you, we haven't even gotten into anything political. And you know what? It's been a fun night. I'm not going to get into anything political.
I think we're going to leave it just like
that.
I
think we are too. I am sorry. I know somebody wanted me to draw up a football play. Somebody that's asking me right now.
Dave, the only thing is when you get into one...
I'm going to get into several.
There's going to be several. We could take that another hour.
I'll tell you what. if David doesn't mind, and if Byron doesn't mind, let me check with them. Let me see what they got going on. Tell you what I'll do. If it's okay with David and Byron, how about Saturday night, we do a show, sports show. Talk about the Tornadoes, talk about Keystone, talk about college, and for an hour.
We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that. Let's see. That's our days off. That's why we don't do 2 shows a week. We want to give ourselves a break, and the days we was doing it on, David, was Saturday. It gets to be a little bit, doesn't it? It does. So
with everything else.
With everything else. But maybe a special show or something for an hour or so. Let me see what's going on with these guys. We'll talk about it. And if they say yes, we'll come in here for an hour. We'll have Dave put up some graphics, some different stuff, and then we'll break down some plays on the board. David, I appreciate you buying the dry erase markers because I thought we were going to use them tonight, but we got a little carried away with the rest of them, didn't we?
Yeah, we kind of had it going last week, but our our dry ink pen was
malfunctioned.
Real dry.
Real dry. All right, David. Hey, you got anything else for the audience here, David? Anything? Come get a haircut if you need to.
Well.
Here we go.
Talking about my shop.
Yeah.
You know.
Definitely want to talk about the shop.
The first thing you do when you open up a shop is you apply for an application from the state of Florida.
Right.
And in that application, it has guidelines that you have to follow in order to pass that opening.
Oh, right.
So then after you're opened, a couple months later, an inspector comes in from Tallahassee and inspects your business along with the guidelines that she has on her board.
Right.
Well, we had an inspector come in today, and she went through the shop, and I'm glad to say that everything was correct.
Cool. That's
she had
what I'm
no problem whatsoever.
With nothing.
The sterilization, the cleanliness, the guidelines on having hot water, and the safety setups.
Right.
That's it all.
Did you show her the studio?
I wasn't here.
You wasn't here. I wonder if they showed her the studio.
I don't know, but she did come in this room.
Okay, she did.
And
everything covered. It looks really good. The studio looks good.
Imagine she walked in.
I'm sure she did.
She's got to inspect, so she's got to look at all the rooms.
And look, this place right here. I mean, this is. I would rather do this show nowhere else unless we're taking it on the road. Really, this has become home right here. This has become part of you giving back to us. And David, you don't know how much we appreciate what you do for us on the spot with David Rodgers, on the Spot Motorsports Media. Look, giving up part of your shop for us to be able to do a show here. Yes, I know you love doing a show. I get it. But hey, you don't have to do that. But
well, I'm not going to let you take that away from me. Yes, I do enjoy doing it. And I love what I do and what we do together.
Yes, absolutely, brother. And Byron, I wish you were here. And I'm just going to go ahead and let the cat out of the bag. David, heck with it. Give me those cookies.
Oh.
Yep, Byron.
These cookies.
These cookies. Go ahead and show them, Dave. Do we need to take the plastic off, or should we just at least open them up, or maybe grab one out? Byron, this is what you missed tonight, brother. David has already had one, actually. And I've got I'm fixing to have me one. Thank you, Shirley Bagwell. If y'all don't know Shirley, that's Byron's mother, and Donnie Bagwell is Byron's father. Look at that. Oh, my goodness. Those are pistachio. Yeah, absolutely. Pistachio cookies right here. They're absolutely going to be delicious. David's had one. He said it was. So you going to go ahead and eat one, Dave? Oh, here it goes. The dragon. Hey, the dragon just swallowed that there. But Byron said we're not right. No, we're not, brother. But hey, look.
You know what they are?
pistachio cookies mixed with some white almond and something else.
Oh.
Yeah. When you said chocolate, yeah. Shirley Bagwell does an amazing job of whatever she does. Hey, baking, cooking, whatever, but she is a hell of a baker. And let me tell you, she's probably what she should have done as she was living here, but she probably just didn't want all the garbage that went with it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But she's an excellent baker. There ain't a thing, David, that I have had from that lady that has been bad. Have you? Nothing. I can't think of any. Even the food that we eat at their house is absolutely outstanding. Donnie grills good. She cooks good.
And several times I'd like for her to repeat.
Oh, absolutely. Let me tell you what. That strawberry cake that we had for, what's his name's birthday, and was it your birthday too, was absolutely outstanding. My gosh. That melted in your mouth. Oh, my goodness. But anything that she bakes or makes, thank you, Shirley, so much for taking care of us. You know we love you. You know we love Donnie. We love Byron.
Donnie said...
Hey, Mitchell said she could bake. Yeah. Hey, Byron said lima beans. Yuck. No, Byron, lima beans are excellent over rice. Man, come on, man.
Donnie said that the cookie was on top.
Yeah.
But the bottom of the cookie was a pistachio pudding.
Well, it looks like it. Take a look at the texture. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Yeah, so, wow. Excellent. Byron says, hey, Byron's like, man, get that out of my face.
Yum, yum, yum. Looky there.
Look at there. Yeah, that's good. Byron says it tastes like sand. What? Lima beans or these cookies? Because these cookies don't. I'm going to assure you of that. All right, man, I want to close out the show. Mitchell, can you tell me if are you having a show this week? And if you are, let me know the guests. But anyway, usually on Thursdays, on the Spots Motorsports media page, David.
Yes.
By the way, it's blowing up. Yeah. Blowing up big time. Our host, Mitchell Gunner, who hosts a show with us sometimes, that's our sister show. We're all merged into one. On the Spot Motorsports Media, Mitchell Gunner and his new host. Thursday nights at 7. Everything motorsports. It doesn't care. NHRA, NASCAR, Grand Prix, Formula One, the dune buggies, Legends cars, Truck Series. He does it all, man, and writes up stories for it all.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Them car people are crazy.
Yes, they are. And you don't think, hey, it doesn't matter what he writes up. People hit that in masses.
Yeah, absolutely.
In masses. So, stay tuned for On the Spot Motorsports with Mitchell. David, it's been a fun and great show.
Yeah.
Listening audience, thank you very much for sticking with us. We'll be back next Tuesday night. But I'm going to talk about constituents here. We may do a Saturday show, David, a little special, maybe for an hour. You know what I mean? We're not going no more than that. We'll see what everybody's doing. Hey, man, hey, you know what, David? Maybe we can all go to dinner and then come do the show. Me and Tony and Al. You know what I mean? Have a little something. Come over, do a little sports deal, and go home, relax, and enjoy the weekend. What do you think? We'll see. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Lime, as Byron said. All right, on behalf of the missing Byron Bagwell, the Dancing Destroyer, Super Dave Holland, Michael Heater, writer of the show, also Austin Stevens, can't forget him. Austin Stevens, I'm your host, David Rodgers. God bless. Have a great night. Have a great rest of the week. Enjoy homecoming. Don't forget to go support your Tornadoes. Hey, make sure you're at the game Friday night. And one last thing, David, go Big Red. God bless you guys. Same bad time, same bad channel next week. Peace out.